What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Business Warroom, the podcast that ain't afraid to tell it like it is, especially when it comes to the battles being fought every single day in the concrete jungle. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something that's really grinding my gears, something that threatens the very backbone of how we make a buck and build something great. That's the assault on entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about why this whole socialist thing is a real bad scene for the little guy, why people got to hate on success, and the real pain in the neck it is to run a legitimate business without bending the rules. So let's get to it. So again, welcome back to the Business Warroom. I'm your host, Vinny G. And today, we're digging into something that, no kidding, makes me want to throw my hands up. We're talking about this silent war being waged against the people that take the chances, who put their whole lives on the line, and who, against all odds, create the very jobs that keep this city alive. I'm talking about our entrepreneurs and this growing feeling that wants to make them out to be the bad guys, especially with all this socialist, communist talk coming out of some of these politicians. You see what's going on in New York, right? We got some mayoral candidate, let's call him Comrade Carl or something like that, running around spewing this socialist, communist rhetoric, talking about how he's going to fix everything by tearing down what works. He wants to destroy this city piece by piece with his big government plans. He acts like he's going to make everything fair, but all he's going to do is make everyone equally miserable, especially the entrepreneurs who actually bust their ass to make a living. It's enough to make you want to move to Florida, I swear. So let's be real. When we talk about socialism, especially the kind these guys are pushing, it's all about the government taking over, telling you what to do and taking your hard-earned money to redistribute it. They paint the pretty picture of everybody holding hands and singing Kumbaya. But for the small business owner, it's like getting hit with a ton of bricks. It's a hostile environment, plain and simple. Why? Because being an entrepreneur is all about the hustle, right? It's about that fire in your belly, that drive to make something out of nothing. You work harder, you think smarter, you take bigger risks. And yeah, you get to keep more of what you earn. That's the American dream, or at least it used to be. Socialism, with all its crazy taxes and rules and regulations, it just crushes that spirit. If every dollar you make gets carved up, or if some pencil-pushing bureaucrat tells you how to run your bakery, who you gotta hire, and how much you gotta pay him, what's the point? The urge to innovate, to grow, to even open up a shop in the first place, it just disappears like smoke. Our small businesses ain't like those big shot corporations with their fancy lawyers and lobbyists. We're the mom and pop joints, the corner delis, the guys fixing your plumbing, the women who do your hair. We operate on pennies, and every extra rule, every extra tax, every new demand from the city, it just makes it harder to stay afloat, let alone expand. It's a kick in the teeth, seriously. Now, this brings me to something that really bugs me. Why are people so obsessed with taking away stuff from the people who actually took a chance? You open a successful pizzeria, you buy a couple of two-family homes, you make some money, and all of a sudden, you're the bad guy. You're greedy, evil, or part of the problem. All because you actually made something of yourself when others sat around complaining. This whole idea that success is a sin, that's not only a load of garbage, it's poisoning the well for everyone. Just think about this for a minute. Who actually creates jobs around here? It ain't the government. Believe me. Governments can hire some people, yeah. But real, steady jobs, the kind that last, they come from the private sector. And most of all, from our small businesses. I'm talking about more than half of all new jobs created in the last 10 years came from small businesses. This ain't just numbers. These are real people, real families putting food on the table, and real dreams coming true. All because some people had good ideas, took a gamble, and built something from the ground up. That's how it works. But let me talk about the real pain in the neck, and that is to run a legitimate business. It's not just the money you got to put down at the beginning. And believe me, that can be a fortune. Easy tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands just to get the doors open. It's the constant, never-ending cost of following all the rules. We're talking about paying your people, good wages, overtime, health insurance, all the benefits you got to give them. Once you add in taxes and benefits, an employee can cost you almost double their actual salary. That's a lot of money. Don't forget taxes. You got federal, state, city, property, sales, payroll. It's a never-ending bill from Uncle Sam and his cousins. Small businesses are getting hit with crazy tax rates, sometimes up to a quarter of their income. And let's not forget all the paperwork and regulations. You got to navigate a jungle of labor laws, environmental rules, safety codes, licenses. It's enough to make your head spin. Just messing up on the HR stuff can cost you 10 grand a year in fines. And seriously, screw-ups. Millions. We ain't talking about cutting corners or exploiting people. We're talking about trying to keep up with a mountain of rules that change every other week. And let's not forget about insurance here. Liability, property, workman's comp, health insurance. Gotta have it. And it costs an arm and a leg. And finally, rent, electricity, supplies, advertising, computers, all the stuff you need just to open your doors and keep them open. It all eats into your profits before you even see a dime. So when you hear these guys talking about taxing the rich or spreading the wealth, it usually hits these very same entrepreneurs the hardest. They're the ones putting their homes on the line, taking out loans, working crazy hours, often with no guarantee they'll even make it. And then to have someone tell them they didn't earn it or that it should be taken away for the good of the people, that's just insulting. It ignores all the sweat and years and real value they bring to the table. And here's where I really get mad. It's a total disgrace that while legitimate small businesses are scraping by, following every single rule, other people are openly breaking the tax laws. You see it all over. People doing cash jobs, off the books, not reporting their income. And meanwhile, the guy who played by the rules is getting squeezed dry. When some guy operates under the table, he got an unfair advantage over the businesses that are paying their fair share and following all the regulations. That ain't a fair fight. That's a rigged game where the honest guy gets fucked. And finally, let's talk about the big elephant in the room. This whole victim mentality bullshit. There's a story being pushed by some people, usually the fucking politicians who get rich off the whole scam, that makes folks feel helpless, like they're victims. They tell you that your problems are the fault of the system or the rich. This idea, even though it sounds all nice and sympathetic, actually keeps people down. Trust me. It makes you stop taking responsibility for yourself. It kills your drive, your entrepreneurial spirit. If you think you're a victim, you just blame everyone else and wait for somebody to rescue you. And who wins then? The very politicians who promise to be your savior, who then grab more power, more control, and they get rich off the very misery they claim they're fixing. They offer you a handout, but what they're really doing is taking away your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, your drive, and your chance to make your own success. Entrepreneurs ain't the bad guys. They're the ones who have the guts, the innovators, the job creators. They're the engine that keeps our economy moving. It's time we cheer them on, showed some respect for what they do, and told anyone who wants to tear them down to go take a walk. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business War Room. Join us next time as we keep digging into the challenges and the triumphs of the business world. Until then, keep fighting the good fight and don't let anyone tell you you can't make it. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, and share the podcast. Peace.